Well, polls close in under an hour. East River and South Dakota's first ever gubernatorial runoff. Republican candidates Larry Roden and Toby Doden are competing for the party's nomination.
KELOLAND's Carly Phillips joins us now live from the Minnehaha County Auditor's Office with the latest on the voter turnout and how election officials are preparing for tonight's result. Good evening, Carly.
Yeah. Hi, Perry. Hi, Kelly. Well, election workers just went into the tabulator room behind me here at the Minnehaha County Admin Building. And earlier today, I talked with County Auditor Leah Anderson about the turnout, and she says it's been a little slower than expected, both absentee ballots and at polling places. Republican voters have just a short time left to cast their ballots before polls close across South Dakota.
I've realized that it's pretty important to vote these last 8 years or so.
At the downtown Sioux Falls Library, election workers told us only about 65 voters had cast ballots by 1:30 this afternoon across 3 precincts. Minnehaha County Auditor Leah Anderson says turnout has been lighter than she expected.
We don't do any reporting of, how things are going at the precincts necessarily for numbers until later, but right now it sounds like it's a little bit slow at the precincts.
Anderson says election workers have already processed about 3,800 absentee ballots. Voters can still drop them off until 7 p.m. Central Time. She says having all votes counted between 11 and midnight is doable.
Even though it's a smaller election and there's just one thing on the ballot, it still takes about the same amount of time to get through all the precincts.
Once tonight's election is over, workers will have about a month to prepare for what happens next.
I think we're on election overload at this point, so we're just going to be glad to have a short break before we get started with the general election, because we have to start absentee voting for that September 18th.
Now, absentee ballot results won't be released until after all the polls close statewide. Election officials say the first precincts are expected to report around 7:20 p.m. Central Time tonight.